Hola bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic. I'm Magic Mel, and this is Owl, my spirit guide. Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I thought we'd do a little energy check-in just before the new moon in Taurus this Friday. And where to start? I'm feeling mellow. Today was an interesting day. I went to what class was it? Oh, tango. I love tango. Tango and belly dance class, which is the craziest thing ever. It's like there's this thing called chimi where you have to kind of wiggle. It's a kind of you wiggle from your bones, from your skeleton frame, and then it's just crazy. What can I say? I mean, bones are shaking that I didn't even know I had. Let's put it that way. And it's quite intense. Let's put it that way. It's quite intense. In the beginning, I was quite shy. I'm like, oh man, I can't do that. But I thought, Melanie, just get over yourself. Just have some fun. Let go, enjoy. And once I surrendered it, yeah, it's actually enjoyable now and challenging. And then after that, I just sat in the car and I was like, okay, let's drive home. And then my intuition was like, no, go to the beach. And I'm like, my mind is like, can you afford going to the beach? Don't you have stuff to do? And I'm like, well, I probably have stuff to do, but never mind, I'm going to the beach. So I actually went to the beach. And May here is nice because, there's not many people on the beach yet. The water is still cool. And there were some crazy waves. I love waves. So I just kind of chilled for 3 hours. And then I checked the weather, and it's actually going to rain next week and the week after. So I'm like, thank you, intuition. My intuition was like, go today because it's going to rain. I'm like, yes. So that was that. And well, you know how it is. After a day at the beach, you kind of feel quite mellow. Your body is zen. So I'm in a mellow vibe for today. Enjoy it. What else? I think I'm also just, after the eclipse season, after clearing my house, just kind of enjoying the spaciousness. Again, my mind wants to jump ahead. My mind has all these plans, but I'm really practicing acting out of alignment, meaning acting only when my inspiration motivates me to. And that is challenging for my mind because my mind is used to having plans. My mind is used to linear action. No, we got to do this step A, B, C, D, E, go from A to D. But I feel the more I give myself permission to function in this, what I guess is the new paradigm 5D way of, coming from alignment, everything comes from there. And I realize that it's safe. And the more my nervous system realizes that it's safe, the more I'm enjoying it. Because I'm like, oh my God, it can actually be this easy. My mind is like, can it really? I'm like, yeah, it's working. For example, I had the gate broken. We have this electric gate. And I tried for 2 weeks to call the technicians. I'm like, hey, can you come? And I had been procrastinating that on myself for like 6 months. So I was like opening and closing this iron gate and gaining muscle in the meantime. But at some point I said, you know what, let's just fix the gate. And then, yeah, I came up with fiestas and more retrasos, what do you call delays. And then I just said, okay, whatever. This week, though, I thought maybe I should check on them again. But the word should put me off. I'm like, you know what? No, just let it go. Chill. And yesterday, I was chilling. All of a sudden, the doorbell rang and these technicians rocked up out of nowhere. And they're like, oh, we were in your area. We're going to check your door. And I'm like, oh, awesome. I was actually going to call you at some point. So to me, it's just another confirmation that when we let go, and I don't mean being passive, but I mean going with the flow, acting when the yang energy is there, and going back to yin when my being calls me to just be still and be in the receptive mode and just receive, to be honest. So I'm kind of dancing with this flow of energies, and it's working. As I said, yesterday the guys just rocked up without me even pushing. And I'm used to forcing. I'm used to like making things happen. You know that too? Making things happen, gosh. But I'm really, when I catch myself going back to that modus operandi, my old wiring, I let the reins go again and remind myself, do you still want to operate from that state of being? Haven't we learned our lesson? Aren't we done with the burnouts? And I'm like, yeah, let's just go back to chill. Or let's just do in the moment what brings us joy. And I know it sounds like a privilege, but guys, I've kind of worked myself up to this. I've made choices in the past that led up to this present moment. So it's not like this just appeared out of thin air. I had to constantly, when a fork in the road came, I chose, my alignment, expansion or not. So every time we choose our alignment, every time we trust, every time we surrender, every time we choose to let go and just, go to where our heart tells us to go, then another timeline opens that wasn't there before. We literally create our reality and our timeline as we go along with each moment, each choice. So I'm at the point now, I'm like, okay, I guess I can chill now. And when my mind questions it, I said, hey, we've done a lot of work. We're not being lazy. Because I guess my mind is like, one of my fears is like, are you being lazy? It's like as if it's like this huge sin to be lazy. And no, I'm not. But I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the nice weather. I sometimes forget. I remember when I used to have Airbnb people over. I saw these people relaxing, and I'm like, I should be relaxing too every now and then. And I just didn't allow myself to, because I thought I always had to be busy. I always had to be constantly doing something. And now I don't even wait for other people to signal that to me. I just give myself permission. I'm like, hey, I live in a nice place, sunshine, beach, let's enjoy. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And I know also that the next chapter of action, of go-getter mode, is just around the corner. Or the next opportunity for expansion is just around the corner. So I don't need to fret about, action. It's going to happen anyway. There's a saying by Hermann Hesse, even in paradise, man doesn't last long. Because think about it. I mean, how long can you just chill at the beach doing nothing? I mean, at some point, for example, earlier, after like half an hour, I'm like, okay, I need to swim. Okay, I need to drink something. Or I need to do, So it doesn't last long anyway. I think we have this fear that we're going to be like these eternal sloth bags if we just allow ourselves to let go. Same with food. Eisenstein has this beautiful book, The Yoga of Eating, where he also almost like gives us permission, as if we need someone's permission, but maybe we do, gives us permission to just stop controlling ourselves and as if we're always constantly have to fight against our urges, fight against our instinct, fight against our body. It's exhausting. He's like, okay, just binge out on ice cream and really go for it and see how it feels. You at least then will know what it feels to be super sick on ice cream. And you will register and not go down that path anymore, unless you like I used to be in the past, self-flagellating and hurting myself, actually, because I was at war with myself. So allowing ourselves to just go all out to test our limits and then find a middle path is, why not? I mean, that's pretty much my way of testing things out also. I'm a bit extreme when it comes to sport. I used to do this crazy rowing also on the sea, and that stuff is exhausting. It's like full body workout. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the rowing, I'm going to do martial arts, I'm going to do the dancing. And literally had like a burnout, And then I had a Thai massage, and the lady was like, your chi, your organs, your kidneys complain. I'm like, oh God, okay. So now I'm like, I won't push myself that far to the point where my body is like ringing all alarm signals and the siren is going off. I'm more in touch with my body, and I listen to his. I call my buddy. He don't ask me why. I listen to his signal and say, okay, and I'm more in tune. So he doesn't have to go all out and scream at me, basically. So that's where I'm at, guys. And what was the last story I pulled? I think it was about rebalancing, after eclipse season. And I think we deserve it. There's some tough decisions we had to make, some clearing, which is all good. And again, just allowing ourselves, giving ourselves permission to enjoy the spaciousness that we've created is, I don't even know what the word is. Nice? It's kind of a sucky word, no, nice, but you know what I mean. And yesterday I pulled 2 oracle cards for myself, and one of them was peace. Because I was literally slouching on that couch, reading, relaxing on the couch. And I was just breathing and thinking, oh my God, it's so great. Sorry, I'm not very eloquent today. It's just so great to have peace, just to be at peace. Peace is underrated. I tell you, okay, joy, go for your joy, but actually, peace is good too. you know, no kind of crazy drama going on, no urgent errands to do, nothing urgent pending, no urgent emails, nothing really urgent, period. That is just so relaxing. And I was like, oh, thank you, universe. It's been crazy. The last 7 years have been absolutely mad, on my end at least. And a big part of what I've been working towards is this sense of peace. No drama, no toxicity, no trespassing of boundaries by other people, just being with myself and just like mellow. Okay, this is my cat Pancho, but he's mellow too. So being at peace is something to treasure. Yeah, something to treasure. And the nice, sorry, I'm gonna be very uneloquent today, so I'm gonna say nice a lot. The nice thing about being somewhere close to nature is that nature grounds you, but it also just, if we're present with nature, nature's just blooming. I have these 2 bougainvillea bushes out there, these kind of Alice in Wonderland globe things. Well, we cut them into a globe, looks kind of funky, like cotton candy, and they're in full bloom. Like purple violet colors. I was just out there and thinking, wow, nature's so abundant. Why do we go on about scarcity if nature is just constantly, overflowing, overgiving, sharing her abundance? And it's so time that we let go of this scarcity mentality and just see the gift that's everywhere around us. Just see also the gift that we've been given, our life, since we were born. We were fed, we were given all these things. If you really stop and take track of everything that was given to you, I'm sure you've gone through hard times, and I'm sure there's been painful and cycles of despair and suffering, but underneath it, apart from that, let's not forget about the bountiful times too, and the magical times, and the joy, and how things actually always worked out one way or the other. Let's really keep stock of that to keep us grounded, really. Yeah. So, should we pull six card story? Here goes my dyslexia and my itchy nose. Spirit guides, you all there? Asga team. I have to add 2 G's to my Asga. So usually it's angel, spirit guides. So the acronym is Asga, no, angel, spirit guides, and ancestors. I'm going to add 2 G's. So it's angels, spirit guides, gods and goddesses, and ancestors. So Asga with triple G. Yeah. Dear Asga team, we want a little 6-story card for some mellow Wednesday entertainment. Nothing too radical today. What story needs to be told? Vamos. I'm sipping on my coffee. From my coffee, it's a fly. Coffee mug I bought from my friends who are potters. And again, I swear, guys, the coffee tastes better. It must be placebo, but why not? If it's placebo, I'll buy it. Well, I bought the cup anyway. But having a relationship with the product, with the maker, knowing where stuff comes from that is luxury, I feel. And even luxury needs to be redefined. I was thinking, you know what? I don't even need that much anymore. I'm not going to say I don't need that much money. I do want money because I want to invest in the house and this and that. But I was thinking or maybe my values have just so radically changed. I don't define my wealth or abundance by money. I define it by the freedom I have to do what brings me joy, the connections I have with people, the community I have, super important. Like, I like to know people by their name here in my pueblo. It's not like a huge pueblo anyway, but the postman, the carpintero, the lady at the supermarket. It's really nice. I've got that from my mom. She always asks for the person's name, and it just creates this intimacy, and the sense of belonging that, hey, I'm part of this town. People know me. I know people. It's these small things that really bring me part of my abundance. So freedom, nature, I can wake up. Well, maybe I should change that. I can, sleep in if I want to. Healthy food. I mean, seriously, guys. I'm just grateful for where I'm at the moment. Okay. So the first card, ooh, color synchronicity, is the moon. The moon, full of mystery and yeah, misterio, no? And you know what? Life is a mystery. I've stopped. I used to be such a control freak. I used to ask like a gazillion questions. I always wanted to know the answer. And now I'm like okay with not knowing. I'm okay with not knowing how the story unfolds. I'm okay with not having a plan. I've mellowed out a lot. So, and I respect the mystery of it all because I've accepted, I'm humble myself that I don't know. I will never understand everything. I mean, we're constantly unfolding and getting to know ourselves better, but there's always more. There will always be more. So that actually makes me relax more because I'm like, you know what? It's never going to be done anyway, so might as well chill a bit. So the moon, she looks like she's chilling. Okay, she looks like she kind of threw herself into the ocean, is like doing a reverse and diving, a reverse roll, can't remember the exact name, my brother does. He's a dive instructor. But anyway, submerged in water, being okay with the current taking us without us kind of paddling against the stream, because often we kind of think we're helping the current, but we're actually like swimming upstream. So letting go of the rudders and just going with the flow, trusting that the balance of energies, yin yang, animus, anima, everything is gonna balance itself out without necessarily us putting in so much effort all the time. Yeah, the universe knows how to balance things out. And there's the moon. There's Archangel Haniel. Do you guys live somewhere where you can go out to the moon? Go out to the moon. Go and see the moon. I highly recommend it. She's magnetic, beautiful. No, we have the new moon coming up, but there is something about the moon, mysterious, that I just love. Yeah. So the moon is about mystery. The moon is about things being veiled, not having a clear picture. And yeah, I guess that was the last phase now. After the eclipse especially, we cleared things out. We don't necessarily know what is around the corner, but we're trusting. We're trusting that we're in the right place at the right time. And that by, making these decisions that honor ourselves, that feel aligned, the decision that actually brings us peace. Because I was also thinking, how do I know when I make the right decision? It's the decision, the last decision I took, it felt right because it brought me peace. It was not this like jubilee, hooray. It was more like an exhale. And that's actually what she represents too. Full moon is an exhale. We can let go of our activity and lie back and surrender and be still. Yin, quiet, being, stillness. Yeah. So we're just coming out of that, or we're just starting with that. I mean, we are in that, no? Didn't I just say we're chilling? Are you chilling too? I hope so. So we're chilling with the moon. ¿Qué más? I don't know what card to, what question to ask. Okay. As we are creating or have created more spaciousness and are in the receptive mode, well, I guess it's logical what lies around the corner. Although I want to keep it a mystery. Let's just see what comes up. Let's be open. Let's see what the cards have to say. And I'll adapt the story to that. Yeah. Thank you, dear Asga team. What is the next card after the moon? Gracias. We're doing a major arcana stuff here because the moon is major arcana. The star. Look, it goes well with my star background in the back. We trust, if you're someone like me who communicates with the moon, we trust that the moon actually heard our prayers and knows our desires. And that our heart's desires, look, she's holding, can you see? She's holding this kind of thread that is attached to her star, and she's holding it close to her heart space. I feel we're trusting more, really trusting that we are connected to the universal heart and that our heart's desires are valid and that we can trust in them being fulfilled in divine timing. that we don't have to force things, that we can actually enjoy the ride towards it. Because we've learned that attaching our happiness to achieving the goal is a fracaso. It's a kind of, it doesn't really fulfill us. Why not enjoy the journey towards it, trusting that it's already done? Yeah. So what is your dream? What is your heart's desire? What is your northern star? Do you connect with the cosmos? Do you check the galaxy, what do you call it? The sky at night sky sometimes. And really, when I do it, I'm like, it really reminds me like, God, there's so many stars. And I just wonder what it is like up there and how, I guess, small we are and how much more is out there, no? So how do you feel when you look up to the stars? Do you know all these constellations? I don't really. I mean, I recognize some, but I forget the names. But doesn't it fill you with a sense of awe and reverence for the mystery that is life and the larger cosmos? Maybe this time of stillness, of surrendering, is really inviting us to open up to this mystery that is life and to the larger picture, to go into peripheral vision, out of our tunnel vision, into peripheral vision, relaxing into a wider sense of consciousness and just being in awe. Isn't that something to aspire to go back to a sense of reverence and awe? Well, the star card invites you to do that. Next card. Número 3, Asga team, personal A team. Now that we are in yin mode, surrendering and trusting our heart's desires, what is next in our little story? Queen of Pentacles. Whoa, abundance right around the corner. Yeah. I feel we've also really, really come to terms with our own abundance. The Queen of Pentacles is all about abundance, especially about the money. I mean, earthly abundance. But look at her. Her earthly abundance runs deep. She has these twigs coming out of her turban or headdress. So although, I guess the best way to put it is that her sense of worthiness, her sense of abundance goes beyond just the pentacles, the money, which is just a symbol, no? A symbol of the currency of exchange we use in the 3D. But she knows that her true currency is her own inner abundance, that everything outside is a reflection of her inner world. So she is grounded in her inner abundance, in her connection with her own nature. And I'm talking here her because it's a lady there, but this is not gender specific. They, he, she, yeah? So the sense of groundedness in her own abundance as a birthright is something grounding. Have you come to that realization too, that the abundance is not out there, but you're actually manifesting it from within? When I think back about most of my life when I was depressed and I carried this void just below my solar plexus, it was a lack of self-love. It was a disconnection with myself and the divine. And yeah, it was this chronic emptiness because inside I felt empty. I was not there, basically. I was disconnected. So how can we? And looking outside, things might have looked all rosy, but inside, ¿para qué sirve si todo está abundante fuera, si dentro estás vacío? Like, what's the right expression? To what use is it if we're surrounded by money and things, if inside we feel empty? It really starts from the inside. And the reverse can be too. A sense of belonging, a sense of self, a sense of community can fill us so much inside that maybe the outer abundance or the material stuff, it's not so important anymore because we are filled from the inside. So coming to that realization and to really know that nobody can take that away from us, that is real abundance. That is part of my concept of abundance. So, hey guys, it looks like we're really in a time of stillness, trust, inner abundance. I like this. Okay, after the Queen of Pentacles, what else have we learned, acquired, reclaimed? Because I feel a lot of this healing journey is about really reclaiming, remembering, unlearning a lot of stuff, reconnecting. Yeah, knowing that we're worthy, that we're abundant, that we're blessed, that we are wealthy. And that if it doesn't show in the outside, we just have to ask ourselves, what is blocking? How am I blocking myself from my own abundance that is already there? From my own holiness, from my own wholeness that is there? What is blocking my own healing? Oh, guys, this is such a positive reading. Look at this. Next one is the Nine of Pentacles. And we know this one, no? So very much with, this is almost like the Queen of Pentacles, but in the minor arcana, the Nine of Pentacles. So you see this lady in white. Looks like she's done a lot of spiritual work, healing, reaching. It's like harvesting, no? These pentacles that are all within reach. And there's her boa, is it a boa or dove? I guess it's like an owl, white owl, hovering above that pentacle, like a spirit guide, no? Signaling, yes, this one too is for you. So it's really internalizing this notion that it's all here and it's for us to reach out and get it. You know, sometimes we think we need to ask for permission. I mean, obviously, we don't want to be impolite, no, grab someone else's bread that's on the table. But in so many occasions, it's just a matter of us asking, you know, asking for help, asking for, let's say if you're an entrepreneur, a certain price for your service, your product. And then people are like, yeah, sure, you know, they will give to you. But for example, in the past, I didn't even dare to ask because I felt so unworthy and so empty inside. So now we've really reclaimed that inner worthiness and know we belong, we are supposed to be here, we are whole and we are abundant and we can just reach out for what is ours. Yeah, so relish that inner abundance. And the next card, numero 5, already give and receive. Give and receive. That is everything to do with coming out of scarcity. You know, once we snap out of this mindset, it is a mindset that creates a certain mode of perception, then tints everything around us because our perception really filters. It's like wearing glasses. If we wear our scarcity glasses, we filter everything, people, situations, information through those lenses. So they tarnish everything. So through the scarcity lenses, everything looks like there's not enough. It's all competition. Everyone's out to get each other. But at the heart of us, and I really truly believe that, we're not wired that way. I believe in the good of you inside, that we are generous at heart, that we don't really want to fight each other, that is really a programming that is so rooted in fear. Once we let go of that programming and once we give, because it's a flow, a give and take of energy. Once we give again in trust, without fear, knowing that it comes back in whatever form, maybe not directly through route A, but if I give to you, it might come, the gift might circle around, come to me again in another way. But just trusting that the flow exists of give and receive encourages us to be more generous again. And just like fear breeds more fear, generosity multiplies generosity, is contagious. So we're entering this cycle of giving and receiving again, making that wheel turn again. And again, at Mel's Magic Official, I really always, one of my desires is also for you to realize and to reconnect with your gifts. If you've done so, awesome. You know, your talents, your passions, your joys, whatever brings you joy and it's part of your nature. I mean, for example, I painting not so much. I love dancing. There's so many things that bring me joy. And there's so many things, you know, I feel this gift of communication is one of my gifts. So I'm here sharing my gift with you. I'm sure you have too, tons of them. So once you give them to the world, you know, people are happy to receive it. People are like, wow, something different, something unique. So I always tell you, reconnect with your gifts and share them because it feeds into the abundant flow of the universe, and the universe is also grateful that you are actually putting the gifts that you were given to use. Because if there is a definition of sin, I don't want to be like, don't want to use religious terminology here, but I feel it is sinful if we're given certain talents and gifts and we don't use them, because it's like cutting off the stream of abundance of the universe. You were given these talents for a reason, because they're needed in the world, So share your gifts again, reconnect with them, whether it's singing, music, whatever, skateboarding. It can be like the craziest thing. Have you ever seen someone who's so like immersed in their passion, and it doesn't really matter what they're doing, but you're like, wow, this person is so passionate, it's kind of contagious. And maybe it's not so much about what they're doing, but just seeing that person in their element, it sparks something in us, no? So trust in the give and receive mechanism of the universe. Share your gifts again, and you will see that there will not only be openly received, but celebrated by the world. And those naysayers, don't even give in to them, It's like, once you really reconnect with your own worthiness, you're not even going to care so much anymore if some people are not going to like you. That's just normal. Not everyone's going to vibe with us, no? So we don't take things personally anymore, because we don't depend on someone else giving us this sense of worthiness. It's like, okay, it's not your cup of tea. Well, now have another drink then, We don't let fear of rejection inhibit us from sharing our gifts, from enjoying our gifts. Yeah. So, ultima card. How long are we rolling? Oh my God, it's already 30 minutes. Okay, almost. Last card. Thank you so much, the angel spirit, guides, gods, goddesses, Asgard team. This is very abundant reading. I love it. Very zen, very healing, very grounding, very grateful. The energy of these cards. What is the last card here? Oh, guys, is this like a fairy tale ending or what? Last card is Eight of Cups. Kannst du sehen? Can you see? Switch. No, why? Here, Eight of Cups. So, isn't it beautiful? She's walking towards the sunset and walking towards my rainbow star scenario in the background. So there's this lady. Does she have a feather in her hair? She's walking away, and you see this kind of swampy place. There's a few cups here sinking, and there's one last cup burning. But she's like, you know what? I'm honoring myself. I'm moving on. I'm tired of battling. I don't need to feed this fight anymore. It's actually true. When we hear this, okay, the fight against this, the fight against that, how about just taking our energy back and putting our energy in the solution, which is like a completely different thing. Instead of warring against things, let's just build something new. So this is the feeling I get from this card. It's like she's been through her battles. She's been trying to save all these cups in the swamp, and this swamp is like quicksand, like gulping it all up. And she's like, you know what? Fuck it. There's other horizons, there's other sunsets, and I'm not scared to release things anymore. I used to be like that. I used to hold on to things because I thought, oh my God, this is the only thing, it's the only opportunity, and like really resist and hold on. And the universe is like, excuse me, there's like 10 other doors there. If you can just release and go towards this new horizon, it'll be much easier on you. But can you relate to that? Tell me in the comments box. Like, we hold on to things because we think it's like the last opportunity. We don't trust, basically. But she's like, she's the opposite. She finally, it has to do with the release also, finally says, okay, you know what? I surrender. I'm not giving up. I'm surrendering. There's a difference. I'm surrendering. I'm taking back my energy, and I'm walking towards brighter horizons, greener pastures, knowing that it's not like I'm waiting for the pasture to be greener, but it's greener because I'm going to be in that pasture. Yeah, because everything starts from within. Wherever we go, there we are. So we can't outsmart ourselves just by changing locations. Meaning, basically, you could be abundant anywhere because you're there, but you can also be, in the dumps anywhere because you're taking yourself with yourself. In any case, she's wise. She's like, okay, I'm done with the struggle. I'm done with trying to save something that looks like it's meant to go down, maybe. And maybe that's even part of the story. Maybe this new horizon is just waiting for us to approach it But we need to first walk away from the swamp, you know? And maybe by us walking away, the swamp can revitalize into something new. You know that sometimes we think, oh my God, this is the end. It's done. And then just like the cycles of the universe, it's not really dead. It's just a rebirth. It goes for our own cycles. It goes maybe for friendships. It goes for relationships. Sometimes it's just a certain way of dealing things, a certain mode of being that had to die or sink in the swamp, so that we can release that and make room for a different way of approaching things, or a different way of creating things. So it's not necessarily that the situation ends, but the way we approach a situation. You understanding what I'm meaning? And that's part of our growth, no? Of maturing, of knowing when we're just in resistance, and when we need to check in with ourselves again and ask, well, how did I contribute to those cups sinking? Maybe I need to go to the sunset first and recharge and go back later. Maybe the swamp is not going to be a swamp anymore. It's going to be like some lotus-filled, beautiful pond in the meantime, yeah? But first, I go and recharge my own batteries, because that's where it all starts. Looking within, saying, okay, what wounds need to be healed? What wounds did I project out there and made this happen? Or how was I betraying myself? First, come back to yourself, and then, if need be, you can approach the situation again from a different state of being. And it's like everything changes because we changed. Yeah? In any case, this card speaks to me about self-honoring, self-worth, self-esteem, self-respect, and goes beautifully in line with all the other cards. Should I do a quick recap? Vamos, it's Wednesday. So we had our moon. Surrendering, letting go of the struggle, trusting that everything's unfolding in divine timing, magically, just like the universe is. I don't even know what it is. It is a huge thing of mystery. Then we had the star. We finally trust that our heart's desires are there. They're there for a reason. They are being fulfilled. And they're going to be fulfilled quicker if we release our obsession and our control and actually just enjoy the ride and trust el universo, ¿vale? Then we had the Queen of Pentacles, grounding in our own worthiness, knowing that the pentacles are going to be a reflection of our true currency, which is our energy, and that energy comes from within. Yeah, we know that. We're grounded in that. We know that everything we need and desire is within reach. That the universe actually is an abundant place. We just need to open eyes, take our scarcity spectacles off, and put on not the rosy ones necessarily, but like, how about the crazy rainbow ones, and just look at everything in multicolores. Yeah, abundance is color. We trust in the give and receive mechanism of the universe. We are sharing our gifts again. We trust that our gifts are blessings for ourselves. They bring us blessings, they bring blessings to the world. Yeah, they're needed in the world. And we know that walking away from situations that are just draining us, we had enough self-worth and self-respect to recharge ourselves in the sunset, and maybe revisit the situation later, but coming from a sense of worthiness and self-honoring. So for me, these 6 cards really sum up what we've learned in this process. After all these crazy eclipses and whatnots, and just the journey in general. Let me know if anything resonates. I like this high vibe, positive story. Let me know. Let's leave it at that for a Wednesday Males Magic official episode 20. We have 2 more to go, and then we're closing season 6, guys. This was like boom, boom, boom. Season 7, let's see what we're up for season 7. But for today, I wish you all the best. Owl and I's got your back. You know that Magic Mel does tarot readings and coaching. If you're interested, check my, that was my bones. Check my email in the description box below, and stick around, because latest on Friday, we're gonna do a new moon in Taurus. My Taurarians energy reading. Bye. Stay tuned. Love you lots.